rein it in a little bit. They like to be hot, hot, hot. Let's just prune our avocado plants together, please, because I need someone else to do it with me, because otherwise I won't. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma, and today I'm going to be talking about avocado plants. Woo-woo. So some of you have probably watched the how to grow an avocado from pit video that I did about 2 months ago, where I explain all about how to get your avocado pit to grow into a beautiful plant. But now that we've got these avocado plants, we need to know how to take care of them. So I figured I would jump on here and share with you about how I take care of my beautiful avocado plants. All these care tips work for plants that you grow from pits as well as plants you can buy from the shop, but I'm talking about specifically indoor. I don't have any outdoor space, so I'm not growing my avocado plants or trees outside. I am only growing them inside, so I wanted to share with you how I care for them indoors. Before I get started, I just want to say if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other plants you'd like me to talk about in the future, and subscribe for more videos. So without any further ado, let's get into it. One thing about avocado plants that's different from, I'd say, the majority of other houseplants is that they like full sun. I'm talking like all day direct sunlight. Avocado plants originated in Mexico and they get a whole lot of sun there. So we're gonna want to mimic that sort of climate and give them as much full sun as possible. Right now, I have them literally right up on a southwest facing window. So that window is getting a lot of light throughout the day, especially in the afternoon hours when it's a bit warmer. And they are loving it, absolutely loving it. I mean, this one's even facing itself towards it. Look, so that's the back of it. This side is facing towards the window, trying to get as much sunlight as possible. But when we start going into the winter months and it starts getting colder and darker and there's gonna be less sun, I think I'm going to be giving these beauties some intense grow light attention because they're gonna need it. When it comes to water, they can't handle all that much. They don't like to be too intensely drenched, so you don't want to be giving them too much water. It's really important for you to test the soil before you water them, whether that's sticking your finger in and seeing if it's dry or using a moisture meter. I personally use a moisture meter because I find it easier and I can get down to the bottom of the plant. And you don't want to be watering unless the soil is like pretty much all the way dry. Since it's been the summer, I've probably been watering them about once a week, maybe every 10 days or so. But seeing as we're going into the autumn and winter very soon, I have noticed a bit of a decline in the amount that I need to water them, and it'll probably end up maybe being every 2 or 3 weeks in the full-on dead of winter, just because they're not going to dry out nearly as fast. And they're also not going to be growing quite as intensely and sucking up the water quite as fast either. One surefire way to know that they need water is that their leaves will wilt, so you can always wait until their leaves wilt, because that's basically them telling you that they need some water stat. If you're noticing that a lot of the leaves are yellowing, that means that you are overwatering your plant. Rein it in a little bit and give them less water. They can be a bit sensitive to salt and minerals in the water though, so if you do notice your leaf tips browning and curling, it might mean that they're getting too much salt and minerals. You can fix that by giving them rainwater or distilled water instead. I personally can't do that because distilled water is expensive and I have no way of collecting rainwater in my top floor flat. So you can see on this one here that my leaf tips are getting a little bit brown and curly. On this one, it seems to be less of a problem. It doesn't really seem to care at all. But this one I have noticed that the leaf tips are a bit unhappy. Maybe I'll try leaving my water out a little bit more, but we'll see. So again, because they are from Mexico, they like a warm climate. They like to be hot, hot, hot all the time. Their ideal is between 15 and 27 degrees Celsius or 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, but they can handle a lot warmer. They don't really handle a lot colder well, so ideally don't let them get below 15 degrees. I live in England and it gets cold here, so I'm hoping that my flat doesn't dip that far below 15 for my sake, not to mention all of my plants. But yeah, so I'm hoping that should be okay. You can summer them outdoors because they will enjoy the heat and the light of summer, but before it starts to get cold again, you should bring them inside because they're not going to be able to handle winter outside, especially in the UK. In their first year, avocado plants really like a good bit of fertilizer every month or two. This is just going to help promote growth at the beginning. I've been using liquid gold leaf fertilizer and fertilizing about once a month, but I've heard citrus fertilizer works really well as well. I have heard that they do like a very specific type of fertilizer, which is 10% of sodium, nitrogen, potassium, and potash, and 6% of magnesium. I personally haven't followed that, but I've heard it helps. So if you want to do that, do that. Eventually they will outgrow their pots. When they do, you want to make sure you're continuing to use a very well-draining soil, like a cactus mix even, because like I said earlier, they really don't like to be soggy in their roots, so it's best to just give them really well-draining mix. So let's talk about the scary part, pruning. I am afraid of pruning. I know, that is a bit weird, but I grew these from absolutely nothing and it terrifies me to chop off my babies. But it's part of the process and it will help the plant grow a thicker and stronger stem. You can tell a plant that hasn't been pruned because it's probably just got one long skinny stem. It's a bit floppy, it's not that sturdy, there's no branches coming off of it. That's probably a plant that hasn't been pruned. That's totally okay. If you don't want to prune it, you don't have to, but it will probably have less leaves and grow a bit more spindly. So if you want to encourage some thicker stems, maybe some branching out, maybe grow taller, more leaves, pruning is really, really important. As you can see, this plant here, it's just got one kind of spindly stem. This one, lucky enough to already have some branches on it, it kind of just came out like that. You can see in there there's a couple of different stems, but I'm still gonna prune them because I want these to grow a bit thicker and stronger, more robust as plants. So you first want to prune your plant when your seedling is probably about 30 centimeters or 12 inches or so. That's really going to encourage good new growth. The best place to prune is just above the node of the second set of leaves from the top. So in this plant, got my top leaves up here. My second set of leaves is right there, and I'm going to be pruning right there because that is the node where the leaf is coming out of, and I want to trim just on top of that node. Same on this one. You can see it's got kind of big set of leaves at the top, smaller set of leaves just below it. I'm going to be trimming just above these bottom leaves here. I'm going to take my clean scissors. You want to make sure they're very clean. You don't want to be giving new diseases to your plant. You can also use secateurs if you have them. I don't, but clean kitchen scissors work as long as they're sharp enough. So let's do it. I'm gonna do it with you now because otherwise I will not. I don't want to cut it, but if I can do it, you can do it. So let's just prune our avocado plants together, please, because I need someone else to do it with me because otherwise I won't. I'm just gonna try and get as close to the leaf node as possible and cut. That was scary. I didn't like that, but as you can see, I've got a nice cut there. Still got leaves because those are needed to photosynthesize and help the plants grow. This you can't really do much with, the bit you've pruned off, so I'm just gonna be putting it in my food waste bin so it can go to the compost somewhere else. I did it. You should be proud of me. That was hard. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. So if I can do it, you can do it. Now you're gonna grow a nice woody stem and be much bigger and stronger. It was for your own good, I promise. What's wrong with me? Once this branches out and creates some lateral stems, you're gonna want to prune those as well when they get to about 15 to 20 centimeters or 6 to 8 inches, just to keep encouraging new growth. And then after that, you could pretty much prune annually and just cut off any extra growth that is kind of making it a weird shape or that you don't really want. This one I will be chopping to in a second, but I'm gonna film B-roll of it and I figured it's nicer to hold, so just gonna hold it and cut it in a sec. One thing to note is that if you have grown your plant from seed, it may not grow fruit for like 5 or 10 years if it grows fruit at all. And if it does bear fruit, it probably won't be like the same fruit that you buy from the grocery store. It probably won't be as good. So if you are growing your avocado plant expecting avocados indoors, probably won't happen. Like, I wouldn't hold your breath, especially not for 5 or 10 years. So don't hold your breath on that. So yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know about how to take care of your new avocado plant now that it's grown a bit from its seed. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up down below and comment on other plants you'd like me to talk about, and subscribe for more. Also, if you want to continue watching my avocado plant journey, head over to Instagram because I post stuff on there constantly. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! I must cut you next. No, I really don't want to do that.